Who is the weakest Genshin Impact character, for each element, in the lore? By weakest, I'm saying if all the characters for that respective element, were to fight, in like an abyss floor, who would be the most likely to get eliminated first. Also teaming is not allowed, and pretend that they don't know each other. Also Archons are banned, because they are obviously not the weakest. Now let's begin. For the electro characters, we have Keqing, Lisa, Fido, Razor, Fischl, and Sarah. For this element, it was hard to pick on who was the most weak, because they are all experienced, and strong fighters. Fido and Lisa have shown before that they are skilled, and they both have admirable accomplishments, while Sarah and Keqing train excessively every day, and has experienced very important battles. So I think it's between Fischl and Razor. Fischl has Uz, which is basically another character, and she also works as an investigator for the Adventurers Guild. For Razor, he was raised by wolves, and is very fast. He can also smell danger, and was trained by Lisa and Varka. I would have to say that Fischl is the weakest out of the element, only because others have better accomplishments. For the Hydro element, the characters we have are Kokomi, Mona, Child, Xingqiu, and Barbara. For this element, I honestly think Barbara is the weakest, and will be the first eliminated if they fought. She doesn't really train or fight, like at all, however she seems to be at least capable of protecting herself, during that one hangout event. Child is obviously not going to lose, with him being a harbinger, and all that other stuff. Mona can predict the future, can use her hydro powers to teleport, and she seems to be very confident in her fighting abilities. Xingqiu is the practitioner of the Guhua clan art, and seems to be very skilled in fighting, like the time in the Lantern Rite Festival. Kokomi mastered the art of war, and is a great strategist, although her abilities are quite limited here. She also fought in a war, and has a god's blood. Barbara could possibly just keep healing herself, and make them tired, but I doubt she could even survive one strong hit from Child. For the Pyro element, the characters we have are Hu Tao, Diluc, Yoimiya, Klee, Yanfei, Toma, Amber, Bennett, Xiangling, and Xin Yan. In this case, I think Bennett will definitely be eliminated first, because of his very bad luck. If we remove his bad luck though, then things start to get very tricky. It will either be between Hu Tao, Yoimiya, and Xin Yan, on who's the weakest. Yoimiya carries fireworks with her, and can use them to aid her in combat, similar to Klee, but weaker. Xin Yan, although has no mention of her ever battling, or about her strength in the lore, she seemed quite confident in her fighting abilities during that one Labyrinth Warriors event. So, I would have to say that Hu Tao is probably the weakest, if Bennett's bad luck was removed. She says it herself, on how she doesn't like fighting, so why would someone practice and train to fight, if they don't even enjoy it in the first place? There's also no mention about her strength in combat in the lore. So in the end, I think Bennett would be the weakest with his bad luck, but if it was removed, or somehow lessened, I think Hu Tao will end up as the new weakest. For the Geo element, the characters we have are Noelle, Yunjin, Albedo, Ningguang, Ito, and Goro. For this element, I think Yunjin is the weakest, and will be the first eliminated. But she did train in the art of the spear, to enhance her stage combat, and self-defense. However, in her character demo, she says that she has only grasped the basics, so she probably just recently started training. Meanwhile, the other characters like Ningguang can summon thousands of rock at an enemy. Goro is the general of an army. Ito destroyed a giant rock with one punch. Albedo can create life forms, and Noelle is the world's strongest maid. For the anemo element, the characters we have are Jean, Kazuha, Sayu, Xiao, and Sucrose. I think it wouldn't be Xiao, Kazuha, and Jean, for obvious reason, so the battle on who's the most weakest is between Sayu and Sucrose. Sayu is a pretty skilled ninja, and trains, although has a tendency to randomly just sleep. Sucrose carries random alchemical stuff and potions with her, like the anemo hypostasis for example. Although she never really fights, like at all, and just prefers to stay indoors all day. I think Sucrose is the weakest, because Sayu at least knows how to fight, is skilled at using her ninja techniques, and can be very fast and sneaky if serious. Let's just hope she doesn't just sleep. For the cryo element, the characters are Ayaka, Eula, Diona, Chongyun, Shenhe, Kaya, Rosaria, Chichi, and Gunyu. For this element, I am honestly not sure, so let's cross out the ones who I don't think is the weakest. Gunyu, Shenhe, and Chichi is related or have ties with the Adeptus, so not them. However, Chichi's power is very inconsistent because of her poor memory. Rosaria got raised by bandits, and she was also the one who eliminated all of them. Ayaka learned the art of the sword from a young age and is still training today. Eula fought against Grandmaster Varka once, and it ended in a tie, however he might be holding back. Kaya is a skilled member of the Knights of Favonius, and kept up with his fight against Jaluk, even without his vision, during that time. And then Chongyun consistently practices and trains every day. And that leaves Diona, although she still has the Kedzlean bloodline, and is very good at hunting. The only reason I picked her is because the other characters were stronger, and actually trains and practices, except for Chi-Chi. Diona and Chi-Chi will end up as the weakest, depending on how good Chi-Chi's memory is during the day, because like I said, her power is very inconsistent. And finally, for the Dendro element, Baizu is the only revealed Dendro character, I think, so he automatically ends up as the weakest. These are my picks on which character is the weakest for each element. What are ones do you agree and disagree on? Let me know in the comments. Now if they all ended up fighting, who will end up as the weakest and be eliminated the earliest? Thanks for watching. That is the end of the video. Subscribe and like. Bye.